Hello and welcome to FMG Stadium Waikato. It's the Swarm taking on the Ravens for the second round of the SRL Mines. I'm your commentator, Will Kay, joined in the commentary box by Dustin Richards. And this is shaping up to be quite a matchup, this one.
Yeah, 100% Kay. Look, we got myself and the Swarm, as they are let out here, have some history. I lost to them in the grand final last year. They lost a couple good players like Manu Wally, who's now playing at Newcastle. So it's going to be interesting to see how they've adapted. Of course, they played last week, but they're up against the Ravens, who have some good, solid boys in that forward pack.
Absolutely, they do. I think the Ravens, particularly looking at Noah Burns from last week, he had quite a performance in that second row jersey. As we look, John Baker's going to be the man to kick us off here. And the game is going to get underway. Caleb Jeff, a standout player. A standout player indeed. Last round for the Swarm. It was great stuff from him. Just breaking tackles left, right, and center as the Swarm going to spread the ball early. And an error, a very early error. And that's not good stuff from the Swarm.
No, not at all. I know the Swarm were very disciplined last season, but I'm just looking at as Donick goes through the field and he's just tackled there by the fullback. It's great stuff from him. Now, of course, last season the Mines was a bit different. It was actually 9-on-9, but now it's 13-on-13 with 2 on the bench.
Yeah, and then the new format has been suiting them nicely as we have McClucky now looking for the line, almost making it. Referee says he's just a little bit short as Flynn's going to put it to Bakers. Bakers taking on the line himself here. And Bakers looks like he's gone over early here for the Ravens.
Yeah, Bakers there using his strong and tall body there to get over the fullback there and score the first try for the Ravens. All comes down to that first error made by the Swarm early on in the set.
Well, some will say that the Swarm are too ambitious at the start, just spreading the ball and coming up with an error. And now Bakers has just got underneath Riker Manu, the fullback for the Swarm, and put the ball down in the first 2 minutes. It's not the start that the Swarm were looking for, especially for their first game at home. As we've got John Bakers.
They must have been thinking at training today that the spreading the ball was going to be their main plan to eliminate the forwards from the defending battle and the attacking battle. So by doing that, they did come up with a very crucial error that could cost them later on.
Absolutely, and when you've got outside backs like the Swarm do, they've got a bit of a stacked team. Hone King, Zach Robinson, Krish Gounder, and Marley Arkey, all very good in the matchup last week against the Firehawks. Like, they've got a great back five, but I think the forward pack is where their strengths lie, especially with Kane Nielsen, Caleb Jeff, and obviously that hooker, Eddie Oliver, having some great moments in the last matchup. So we've got Stoder now with a great run there.
You can see that they are going through that middle. They're trying to go, as they go inside to McLucky. He went for a jam play, but didn't work out as he was driven back there. We could see it again. We do with McGee. Wow, what a great run by him.
A great run from Sticks McGee there. The Melbourne Ravens on the front foot here. They were a bit controversial coming into this Mines competition. People thinking perhaps the players were a little bit inactive, but they got a couple of replacements with some more active players. And Home King now finds space. Dokulic joins his man in the tackle there and brings him down. But not before he gets some great meters for his team. Segarini down the wing here. Oh, and there's a second error there from the Swarm. Driven straight into touch there. Zakaria Segarini.
Wow, it's not good for the first 2 sets of the Swarm. Someone needs to stand up in here and say, we will not stand for this. We need another good defensive set. The first defensive set they got scored on, so they need a good, strong defensive set.
Absolutely, they do. It was the man Thomas Usher who had a great game last round. As Sticks McGee now through the line, gets an offload inside to Buckingham. Whizzed through just across the face of about 5 Swarm players. None of them sticking out their hands to grab the ball. McClucky now making it to the 30. Gonna play the ball.
early is this McClucky fella. He's gotten his hands nearly in every play, and he's getting that first receiver role.
He absolutely is, and for a lock, that's a great quality to have. He is a half by trade usually, but just playing in the lock for now, as we have Bill Lee going to play the ball on the last. Tyler Doonan puts in a grubber kick, comes off the leg of Eddie Oliver. Referee says not played at, and that's the 5th tackle there. They're going to go for a changeover.
Yeah, look, if I'm the Ravens captain there, I'm happy with how that set turned out. You didn't get a 7-tackle set, you didn't come up with an error, and you turned it over in a correct position inside the 10-meter line.
Yeah, it just came down to good placement from the Swarm. A bit of an accident there. Perhaps Eddie Oliver did it on purpose and just has great acting skills. We'll not going to be sure for sure, as we've got him now passing the right. Goes to Riker Marnie on the inside, and the Swarm doing a little bit of a campaign, trying to find the other side of the field now.
Yeah, they haven't been able to get down here. I think this is the first time they've been down here in a little bit. They need to get a good 5th tackle option, kick it into a corner. Yeah, I think they will with Bonsukaru. Is that how you pronounce his name? Sorry.
I think it is Bonsukaru. As we have
great kick chase there.
Yeah, it was a very good kick chase from the Swarm. Oh, as Stote has fed a great ball. Offload goes to Ta'awa, though. And the Swarm have some of the best field position they've had all game.
They just need to capitalise here. They need to make sure that they don't have any of those stupid little errors that they did in the first 2 sets. They just need to stay calm, hold the ball, and ensure that they hand it over in the right position. Or even score a try. But don't get too rambunctious.
Oliver in the dummy half. Bonsukaru goes to Segarini. Almost breaking the line there, the lock. We've got Eddie Oliver going to Kau. Jason Powders now going to be brought down on the 10. Playing the ball. Oliver in the dummy half goes right to Bonsukaru. A great grubber there. Manu's there, and Manu's in for a try.
We're seeing that play a lot in both the Mines and the SRL currently. The grubber is so key. If you're a good half, you need to make sure you're upgrading your kicking early on. If you're a half and you don't, it could just minimize your effect on the game, and you won't be drafted.
It was a fantastic kick from Bonsukaru. I think we saw him do the same thing last round against the Firehawks near the end of the game. And Riker Manu now, he promised his teammates he'll have more of an impact in this game against the Ravens, and so far he's lived up to his promise.
Yeah, look, they needed to do something tremendous there to ensure that they're not going to lose the game early. If you lose the game early, you won't score points, and that means that you're just going to be blown away by your opposition. Great first try there, and they're going to level it here, it looks like, as there will be 6-all with 13 minutes in the first half.
And that is great stuff there from Jason Powders. He had good kicking game last week, and he's continuing that form by the looks of it. As we have Baker's going to be kicking off for the 2nd time this match, and the Swarm will get the ball. I think that the Swarm will be looking to use their forward pack a little bit more in this set and just try and get down to the other end and just try and win the field position game.
Yeah, that's what they didn't do in the early sets of this game. But look, it's a completely different ball game as when I played in the Mines. Usually you would just give it to a 6 and they would allow to gain some early meters from that kickoff. Now you got to work your way. You need to grind through the game.
Absolutely, you do. Caleb Jeff, a man that knows how to do that. He had a stellar performance last round for the Swarm. Just an absolute machine, pumping out the meters and just running over players. As we approach the 15-minute mark, Eddie Oliver throws an awkward pass. Looks like it came off the head of a player, and Segarini's there to clean it up. He's been a bit everywhere, all over the field so far in this match, as Powders kicks it into the back of Hudson James, and the Ravens are rewarded with the penalty.
Yeah, look, not the best thing to do, honestly. Not going to lie. They needed to kick it downfield, and now you're going to give good territory to the Melbourne Ravens that could be knocking on their door right now.
And with how strong the Melbourne Ravens have been on the try line, we saw them last round and they just dismantled the Perth Hogs defense in the second half. Now if Sticks McGee making the line, not quite getting there. Buckingham goes for a dart, but he's driven back by Eddie Oliver. Dokalic in that dummy half position goes left, and it's Stoder. Stoder's over the line!
A great ball there that Stoder receives. When you're on the line, I think it's best to give it a short ball to your second row. Maybe a bit longer than they hoped, but look, he just breaks the tackle of the half and he scores over. Looking very dangerous on their try line, they are.
Absolutely, he is. That was just a great ball that was given to him. Even if he didn't break that tackle, he was going to just fall over the line. It was just amazing positioning as we have Bakers now. And there we go. He slots it over. And once again, the Melbourne Ravens are in the lead.
They're controlling the game early, which I like. They aren't letting anything go by, except like the one error they did early on in the game. They made sure they capitalized off the miracle they were given.
Yeah, it's just an awkward kick from Jason Powders. Went straight into the back of Hudson James. He couldn't get out of the way. Just the miscommunication led to a penalty for the Ravens, and they just took full advantage of it. Oh, as King has put a shot on Caleb Jeff, leaving him 10 meters behind. He gets up quickly, though. And that was huge there. Wow. Just aggressive stuff from the Ravens.
Yeah, it's what you need. You need that animosity. You need to make sure that you have that dog in you, that you will do anything to win this game. I know Snicko Bro, the famous Snicko Bro, he played for the Gunslingers last season, and he had that aggression in him. Good to see that the hits are still coming, still in the mines.
As Flynn now through the line, steps one, can't get around Manu. It's the last of the set, 20 out. They've done great to get some field position here. Buckingham goes to Doonan, goes deeper to Bakers. There's an awkward kick as it goes up. Oh, but Dokalic! Dokalic through the middle! Nobody's home, and he's down beneath the posts.
Dokalic, the hot stepper. He makes sure that he leaves everyone in his dust as he goes through the sticks. They may make it 18 all with 20 minutes remaining in the first half. Great positioning by the young fullback there.
Indeed they may. It'll be 18-6. And geez, what a try. Dokalic had a great effort last round against the Hogs. You know, scoring that first try at the very dying minutes of the first half. And that just opened the floodgates. The Ravens just coming away with an enormous performance as Bakers. And he slots it through. No surprises there. Here's Dokalic's run to the line. And there was just no one home. He beat Manu. And just what a try that was.
Yeah, it's all the positioning. He must have been learning that early. If you're a young fullback, definitely try and upgrade your speed and your stepping. It's very crucial how you engage the line coming into the SRL.
Absolutely. As if Powder's kicking off now. Goes to Doonan, and Lightning McQueen is going to be the one taking the hit up. It looks as if the bench players have now come onto the field. As we have McClucky now taking it straight up and hard.
Hopefully the Swarm can gain some reinforcements here to ensure that they aren't going to get blown away in the first half. They need to score 2 converted tries as the Swarm now have the ball with Nelson.
And that's a great pick there from Kane Nielsen. The Swarm with some great field position to grab some points. Lockie Cashel taking that hit up. And as you say about reinforcements, both the Ravens and the Swarm have a half and a hooker on their bench. Just in alternate positions. Lightning McQueen and the number 14. Oh, and a held-in tackle penalty. Oh, and Jason Powders has decided that they're going to go for the 2.
I don't see the reasoning behind this. We saw it early in the SRL last week where a team was behind similar on the scoreboard to this, and they went for the 2, and it costed them the game, I think. I would have thought with the momentum behind you, you need to go and start knocking on the door. It doesn't matter if you don't score a try. As long as you try and put a chink in that armor of the defensive line, it could prove to help you later down the line.
Absolutely. And we see that time and time again. I think my most memorable moment of that happening, I can't remember who they were playing, but it happened at a Panthers game, and it looked like it was going to be their first win of the season, but they took the 2 instead of the tap, and they lost the game because of it. It was a crucial moment, and I think Mark Lee's ever regretted it. Manu Looks like he was actually looking at the bench when he got that call, so it looks as if the coaching staff said to go to the 2. Questionable, but perhaps they've got a reasoning behind it. I guess we'll find out soon enough as Bonsakaru gets an inside ball to Manu, who can't get away from the Ravens defense.
Just on Mark Lee there, he regretted it so much that he decided to change clubs.
I guess he did. He's now sitting at the Knights, I believe. As we've got Eddie Oliver going deep. Segarini goes straight to Thomas Usher. That was a weird kick indeed. It looked like it was going touch on full, but Usher's taken it mid-air. Got Riley Flynn taking a run. Going to Noah Burns.
I think that's a good thing about the Mines there. You start to learn before you go into the upper grades where to place your kicks and where not to kick it to a certain player. If you have a tall centre like the Ravens do on that right edge, you don't want to kick to him.
No, he's got Lee almost got on the outside foot there, but didn't give it to his winger. Maybe he thought there wasn't enough space, but it looked like Phil Burden had enough. Burden goes right, Buckingham. Dokalic, stepping one. Can he push his way over? No, he can't. And they just hold him out.
I think it was the kick there. It didn't go deep enough, so he had to change his direction midway through the run, causing him to be caught up by the 2 defenders. All the best, great defending there by the Swarm. So if they can get a good offensive set.
And here's hoping Kane Nielsen doing a good job there. Powders going to Ta'awa. Linking up the big second rower. Brought down eventually. Eddie Oliver going for a dart now. Right through the middle. Sees a gap. And that's great foresight from the hooker. Trying to just inspire his team to do a little something. As Ta'awa now goes to Hone King. King making up for his regrettable decision of running into touch last match. As we've got Oliver. Goes to Segarini. That's a better kick from the lock. And Thomas Usher's going to let it bounce before taking it. And they've got to be careful here with Usher, because we know what he can do when he's on the trot. He scored a fantastic end-to-end try last round, just outpacing everyone as Segarini comes away with the ball now.
Yeah, wow. Great interception there. They've been throwing it very willy-nilly, the Ravens. Like they're playing a game with him. As Tawar, he slowly approaches the goal line. Oh, I could see a dart here.
Oh, and Segarini's over. Buckingham had no chance of stopping him. He's huge. And here we go. The ball's down. Dokalic doesn't even know what's going on. And we'll get the green light, I think, from the bunker.
I don't see why we won't. Maybe the 2 points did serve well. They could get another try before half-time.
And the Swarm maybe just, I don't know, launching a counter-attack now. Jason Powders looking to make this lead. Only 4 points for the Ravens. That was a great ball. Hit Segarini right on the chest, and he just fell over the line. That's exactly what you want from your forwards.
Look, the Swarm have been very dangerous in the Ravens' 20. So you need to ensure, if you're the Ravens, that you don't let them get back in that 20 for the remainder of the remainder of the first half. It could be a bit difficult, but if they're willing to stand firm and not let anyone into their own half, it's the Ravens here.
Absolutely. You know, the Hamilton Swarm, they look like they've been struggling a bit out there. The Ravens looking very confident, but hopefully that changes soon, and we're in for a really, really tight matchup as we have Cashel getting the wide ball. And yeah, that was great stuff from Segarini. He's had a good game so far. His kicking wasn't the greatest to Thomas Usher before, but he improved quickly, and then he just got an intercept, and it's just everywhere on the field.
You can tell he's a very team-first player, and he looks mentally strong too. Kind of reminds me of a great Kawal from the Canberra Raiders. He's a team-first player. He'll be everywhere on the field if he needs to. Great stuff to have as a young player.
Absolutely, we've got a handful of locks like that. Matty Harris, Chris Lord, and some other forwards as well in Kaval and Lachlan Martin. Just players that do their absolute most to carry their teams on their backs and get some inspiration, as that's a big shot put on there by Lockie Cashel. And we'll look at the live replay of that one. As we've got Stoder now with a run. Felix
I think this
Stoder.
is prime kicking territory here. They could go for an early kick.
And they do. Doonan just kicks it. Doesn't even make it to the 40. Rakamanu stepping one. Can't get around Buckingham. The veteran there. He's playing well for the Ravens, rather. As we've got Bonsakaru going to Bontoft. And just finds him right on the chest there. Eddie Oliver.
This could very well be the last chance for Swarm having this half, as they try to approach and tie it up, or at least go into the break with a 2-point lead.
Absolutely. As Manu goes to Gounder. Gounder's through, and he dives for the line, and that's what we're talking about. And now the Swarm tie it up.
Yeah, they got a very difficult kick to come, I'd say. Who is their kicker again for the Swarm?
It's, I believe, I was calling him before, Jason Powders is the man with the kicking duties.
Well, against I've played against every player with colourful hair, including Jordan Williams from the Brisbane Broncos. Never been a machine, so I don't doubt Powders will be a machine with this goal kicking, as we will watch him.
And straight over the black dot. That's a brilliant kick there from Powders. Never looked like missing. And he makes his kicking duties 4 from 4. And for the first time in the match, the Swarm are in the lead.
Yes, very crucial here, as they now know if they can get within that 20-metre mark, they can provide some serious damage to that opposition line. And also be good for the Ravens to know that they can't give any more crucial errors away in their own half, as they did last.
Absolutely. As we have Cashel now taking a run up to the line. No gaps in there. Segarini taking a hit up. Just under 2 minutes left in this half. I don't think either side will be doing much. Oh, as Hudson James comes on late and in an awkward position. I'm surprised the referee didn't call for an obstruction there. But no, the line. McClucky's come away with it. Under just over a minute to go, rather. And maybe the Ravens will put points on yet. We'll see. Buckingham goes to Doonan. Stoder through the line. Oliver and Caleb Jeff bringing him down. Jeff coming on fresh just moments ago. They go left. Buckingham goes to Doonan. Dokalic spreads it to Burton. Just under 15 seconds now left in the half. I think this will be the last play of the ball. Yes, it will. Bill Lee going to Buckingham and gives it to King. King's going to take a settler. And that's going to be the half. The Hamilton Swarm with a 20-18 lead over the Melbourne Ravens. It's been a pleasure having you so far in the match, and we'll see you in the second half. Welcome back to the second half of the SRL Mines. It's the Hamilton Swarm 20 to the Melbourne Ravens 18. If you're just joining us now, it was the Ravens getting off to a very good start and having the lead 18-6, and then after a penalty within their own 30, the Swarm, within the Ravens 30, the Swarm quickly turned it around and made it 20-18. A 16-point turnaround, if my math's correct. 14 rather. And what do you think of that first half there from the Swarm?
I think the Swarm gave away too many errors in the first couple. I think the first 15 minutes is where they would cry, not all there. The Ravens were able to control the ruck, they control the ball, get the field position, but it was all that error from the Ravens. Oh, the error! As I speak about it, as this wonderful bloke from the Swarm, Sagani, picks up the ball. He's been everywhere. He's been very high in these effort areas. His 1%ers. I love the 1%ers and players. You need them in the mines and the SRL.
Absolutely. Segarini's been everywhere, collecting loose ball, kicking well, tackling well. He's been having a phenomenal match for the Swarm, and he's been one of the standouts so far. Ta'awa now running the ball straight into the line.
I think that's underrated from a second rows is if you don't gain a lot of meters or go fast, that you look frowned upon. But if you get on the front foot of tackles a lot, that's what
And it's Jason Powders again giving away a penalty. He kicked it into the back of Zakaria Segarini now. And wow, the Ravens off the hook.
So close to their own try line, so they can defend this. They just need to buckle down and focus.
Yeah, it was an awkward kick there from Powders, and I don't think he'll be happy with the outcome. And now the Ravens will be trying to attack and get deep into the enemy territory as Flynn almost getting around his opponents there.
As long as they keep them out of the 20 here, they could be good. Oh, and I say that, he's going to be tackled over the 20, Dokalic. Another amazing player tonight.
Dokalic has been having another great game. I think the forwards from the Ravens have also stood out. I think the man for me, Cameron King, has had a good game. And likewise, so has Michael McLucky. As Stoder's going to take the run. It's the last tackle now. They go to Doonan. Doonan puts up a very high kick. Who's underneath it? Oh, it's Flynn! Flynn gets the catch, but he's driven back. And that is a try saver there from Eddie Oliver.
Great tackle, but also great placement with the kicking. I love when halves kick to the outside of the post. It's what can challenge teams, especially if you don't have a fullback that is confident under the high ball.
And Flynn just came flying through. And it was lucky that Oliver was there. Stoder now with the ball after a big shot. And the Ravens deep in territory with a full set. This may be danger here for the Swarm.
Yeah, not where you want to be starting. What the opposition wants to be starting to set in. If you're the Swarm, you need to defend your try line like hell here. As they spread it. Dokalic gets the offload to McGee.
Jeez, they're just really testing him out here, the Ravens, as McLucky's going to push, and he keeps on pushing, and he's got the ball down. Referee's going to go upstairs, but I don't think you can deny him that he's got this try.
No, not at all, as he plants it down without separating from the hand. Great try there. Again, the 20-meter line being proved testy on if you can be scored against.
Absolutely, as we have Bakers lining up the kick. That was a good try from McLucky. He's been a standout player for the Ravens so far. It was Segarini, the one that just didn't get any help in the tackle and just driven back by McLucky. As we have Bakers now slotting it over off the left boot, and the Melbourne Ravens once again take the lead 24-20.
The good thing is there is still hope for the Swarm. They're only down by 4 points, so if they can score a converted try here, they'll be back in the lead.
Absolutely. Like, it's a very tight game indeed, and that 2 points maybe wasn't the worst idea. As Powders is going to look to kick it deep here and hopefully keep the Ravens down their end.
Yeah, look, they now know that they can't give away any more errors within the next 5 minutes. Sure, later on they probably can, but they need to focus on ensuring they can shut down the Raven forwards early. As Stoder gets an offload to Donnan, eliminating the first receiver in the 5-8. Oh no!
That's not a great penalty there. It's Caleb Jeff, the man holding him down.
Although I still believe the Donnan was still in momentum, therefore held should have never been called.
Well, he was on the ground there. So I don't know if we can make that argument, but we have Stoder now playing the ball on the 50. Buckingham going right. Doonan going to Sticks McGee. Trying to get on the outside of Hudson James, but not standing a chance. Buckingham going left. King with the ball. Sorry to cut you off.
The
What are you going to say?
mentality here is that you can only have 30 meters to defend. You don't have 50, 30. Keep thinking that you only have limited space to defend, and then you can get that grasp on yourself and tackle like a machine.
Absolutely. Your 20-meter line is your try line. Before they get into that red zone, that's what you need to be keeping them out of. And the Ravens once again find themselves in the red zone. Baker's now putting up a high kick. Who's going to be underneath it? Of course, it's Riker Manu with the take. And he beats Dokalic this time.
Yeah, I don't think it's a battle of the fullbacks here. They need to try and run up each other. It's going to be who can get the highest play.
Oh, as Burns comes away with the ball there. Sorry to cut you off, but the people in marker, Noah Burns, the person playing marker, as King gets the ball spread to him. And we'll see. He gets turned on his back last second. And jeez.
Scatter there from the Swarm needed, and it proves crucial. They need to defend now. Can't let anyone over that try line, or else it could see game go bye-bye.
Absolutely, as we see Doonan now held up there. Buckingham going to McLucky, going to Dokalic, steps, and he's in again, Dokalic.
Again, Dokalic is a hot stepper, so his stepping proves amazing in this game. As you can see, he rotates around his core forwards, and the step on the second row, and he's in. Amazing eyes from Dokalic there.
Yeah, just great stuff from John Dokalic. Or Johnny Dokalic, rather. He missed the first week of upgrades, but he's been making it up for his team ever since. And look at where he is now. There's a great step off the left foot, just getting wide of that defense, and just eliminated 2 of the Swarm defenders, really. And from there, just a dive over the line, and that's all he needed. He's scored a double now, and he's been phenomenal tonight for them.
100%. If you're a team that needs a genuine fullback again, or needs someone that is a dangerous hot stepper on edge, Dokalic could be your guy coming up. As long as he keeps upgrading and be active in the chats, you could see an early debut in the SRL.
Oh, as McGee puts a shot on Hudson James left on his rear end. I think it's Riker Manu having to come over the top and bring him down. Dokalic spreads it to Usher. Usher in space is a dangerous sight indeed, but he can't quite get that space that he needs. Flynn goes left, gets it to Buckingham, who goes to McGee. McGee with another bump off, and he is just having a phenomenal set so far. It's his second run, and he's probably made about 30 meters alone. Stoder now through the line. Stoder, he looks for the line. Can Eddie Oliver get him? He does, but no, he breaks the tackle, and he's right up through the middle.
Wow, not every day do you see a fast-moving second rower in the mines. But Stoder, very well done. And I think it's that mustache. The aerodynamics in that mustache is what helped him.
Absolutely, the headgear proven very nice indeed, holding down his very big dreadlocks, and then we've got that mustache just pulling off that speed. You're getting a bit of a slipstream from that. And Eddie Oliver just catching up to him, but the tackle broken last second as Bakers will look to slot this over here.
Yeah, the early intercepts in the Storm's end has proved costly for them, as they're now down by 16 points. They need 3 converted tries to get back in front.
And I'd like to bring our attention back to Sticks McGee, who that try was really run off of. He was just bumping off players, running them over, and just making so many meters for the Ravens in that set alone.
Yeah, very good to see there. If you want to, he's a very hard hitter, it seems, and you just give him the ball on the kickoffs. But instead of go to King here.
And King takes it, and he's brought down onto the ground. It's Caleb Jeff getting up slowly. Stoder, the try scorer, gets an offload inside to Doonan, but he loses a couple of meters in that one. He was probably hoping there'd be a bit more space. As Buckingham goes to Bill Lee, inside ball to McLucky, who can't go very far. Buckingham goes right, Doonan spreads the ball to McGee, goes across the face of Jeff, but he doesn't stick out his hands.
You go for an early kick here. I think you do, and they will.
And Doonan's just behind
over the 40.
the 40. Will the ball find the 20? No, it won't. Riker Manu taking it. And he's brought down there, 25 out from his own line.
Yeah, great field awareness there by Manu, making sure he stays inside the field.
And Doonan was unlucky there. He was a great strike on the ball, but just didn't get the bounce he wanted. And just not quite the angle, and he didn't find touch. But otherwise, that was a great kick, and it was going for 40-20 for all money. As we have Manu now trying to find some space, but look who it is. It's Sticks McGee once again, bringing down players. Now we've got Segarini now.
Very far back there for a kick. Very interesting.
Yeah, very deep kick. Dokalic will be having a hard time to get out here. No, he won't. And he breaks one tackle. Well, not breaks, but goes around him simply. And Raikamani has to bring him down.
Yeah, anything you can do, I can do better. That's what Dokalic says to Manu. As Dokalic now, he has to be forced to make a run, but he didn't want to, I don't think. He looks very on his feet.
Yeah, I think he was prepared to just suck in a couple of the big ones. But he didn't quite get the chance to do that, as Stoder now getting some extra meters. The Ravens are just rolling over the Swarm at the moment.
100% they are, and they're going through the middle. As you can see, they know they're going through the middle very well, as they're going the inside ball with McLucky. As Donna now go for another kick into the corner. Great kick.
As Arkey steps one. Arkey's got a bit of space now. He's brought down there. It's Rex Buckingham, the man with the ankle tap. And that's potentially try-saving there.
Yeah, 100%. He looks like a fast... Oh, another big hit for the Ravens. They've got some big boppers in that forward pack.
They've absolutely been some big boppers. And we'll just talk about their forward pack for a second. They've been running it through the middle. And and McGee puts on a shot on Segarini. The Ravens just coming out to play. Absolutely, as we've got Hone King now going on the left edge. I don't think the Ravens during the week would recognise the Swarm by any means to have a weak forward pack. That would not be an area of weakness for the Swarm. But I think that this game proves that the Ravens, it's an area of strength. As Phil Burden now straightens up and he's taken down by a rogue Hudson James.
As we go back to that hit on Segarini, what's that saying? You look to display your dominance for the toughest guy in the yard. That's exactly what McGee did. And he went for the toughest guy in that Swarm pack.
Oh, and another offload. They're just running rings around him at the moment, the Ravens.
And they're only on their third tackle.
They're just absolutely bowling them over. You know, they've turned around and scored 18 in this half. As we've got Doonan going to Dokalic. And he's going to be brought down just after the 30 here. He's going to be out for this play as Bakers is going to put it into the back of Sticks McGee. That's probably not the best play there. And the Swarm get there. I think that's their first penalty of the game.
Well, it's also the fourth time that a player has done that type of penalty. They get back into the Swarm get back into the area where they need to be. Get that field position in the Ravens 50. Need to work hard here in the last 12 minutes if they want to try and get their point differential better.
Yeah, I think the Ravens have been shown to be a dominant side so far. They absolutely destroyed the Hogs, and now they're doing quite a number on the Hamilton Swarm. Hopefully when they come up in a couple of weeks and face the Firehawks, they can maintain this run. As we got Hudson James giving it to Bontoff, but he's driven back in the tackle. And the Ravens line is looking hard to penetrate right now. Oh! And McGee's put a shot on there. King cleans up the loose ball, and Jesus, McGee is playing out of his mind.
That's insane. I can't believe I don't think I've ever seen a forward so dominant in the mines. Sure, you had Snicko, but he was more of a, excuse my language, a piss taker at times, as you would know, being the mines commissioner. But having a dominant forward in a mines squad is so pivotal. You need that guy to lay your foundations, and that's exactly what the Ravens have done.
I won't say much about Snicko, bro, but what I will say is that Mad Monday was hell for me, for the mines. It was a PR nightmare, or what could have been. As we've got Sticks McGee playing the ball. Buckingham going left. As Doonan goes deep into the chest of Arkey. Steps one. Arkey with some space. It's Dokulic coming along. It looks like he's just jogging. No, he's taken a dive early. Arkee's going to go to the line. He runs the whole field, and he's in.
Amazing stuff. What a fast-moving winger. You don't usually see the right edge wingers making a big impact on the game because the majority of the ball does go to the left. So to see Arkee make a great try there, that's good to see.
Absolutely, it was a great run. I thought Johnny Dokulic had him covered, but I guess he just got tired, probably from all the plays he's been involved in, and just had to take that dive a lot earlier than anticipated. And now this game's a lot closer. I think Jason Powders will kick this, and it'll be a 10-point game all of a sudden. Just under 8 minutes to go.
Could they possibly make a comeback?
I mean, there's always a possibility. Stranger things have happened, and I think if there's a team, if there's any teams that can make a comeback in the last 10 minutes or so, it's these two teams. So I guess we'll have to see as Bakers lines up this kick. And yeah, it's just phenomenal stuff from the Ravens, but all of a sudden the Swarm are the ones that may be looking a little bit dangerous, hoping to get 10 more points on the board. Maybe still a game from underneath Melbourne.
And well, here's a question here. Is it too late for their comeback? They prove that they have the skills to make a big comeback, but the clock beat them? I think so.
I think the clock will win.
Back.
Especially with the way that this Melbourne Ravens pack is treating the Swarm forwards, just absolutely dominating them. Sticks McGee, he's got to be a shout for player of the match, as we have Eddie Oliver going for a run. Another one there. He's been a bit quiet in this second half, but you know, he's trying to inspire his team. As we've got Jason Powders giving it to Bontoft. Gets a little bit of a line break here, but there's numbers everywhere. Ball goes to James eventually. Last tackle. 5 minutes left in the game. 29 meters out. 28 meters out, rather. We've got Eddie Oliver going left. They're going to go deep. Powders kicks it straight to the chest of Bakers, and I think that will be the game. I don't see the Hamilton Swarm scoring twice now, as we have Sticks McGee running over Hudson James. Offload to Lightning McQueen. And wow.
Unless they can come up with a big error, but I don't think that would happen now if that run for McGee. Honestly, I've been so impressed by him and how he runs the ball. Could be one to watch in the upcoming draft in a couple of weeks.
Usher now looking for a try. He scored a fantastic one last round, but not quite getting to the line. Buckingham maybe looking to get one for himself, but no. It's going to be Usher in the dummy half role. He goes to Doonan, who goes to Bakers. A big, tall kick goes left. Who's underneath it? It's Arkee, and he's going to be driven back into his own in-goal there.
Another set coming for the Melbourne Ravens. Knocking on the door there.
I don't see the Melbourne Ravens letting up anytime soon. Just under 2 minutes now left in the half. This will be the final set, I think, as we go to McGee. And McGee, I thought he was going to put an absolute shot on there, Eddie Oliver, but he doesn't quite make it in time, and he gets just a finger on him before he can do so. And I think Eddie Oliver's very grateful for that, considering the way he's been playing. Sticks McGee, how he's been playing. As Noah Burns now brought down, 11 out, playing the ball. It's going to be Buckingham going to Bakers, spreading it to McGee. He deserves another try, I think, just for his efforts tonight. Fourth tackle, Doonan gives it to McQueen. Can't get the inside ball. It's the last tackle. In fact, it'll be the last play if he gets up in time. Playing the ball. Oh no, the siren goes beforehand. And it's the Melbourne Ravens. 36 to the Hamilton Storms, 26. And what a game that was.
Yeah, look, I don't think the scoreboard reflects how well the Melbourne Ravens were able to play. Great hit out here against the Swarm.
Absolutely. We look at some of these players and wow. Buckingham named the man of the match. I'm not too sure if I agree. I think everyone knows who my pick would be, and that would be Sticks McGee, especially with that second half performance.
100%, or even Dokulic. Both players played very well. As you can see, the run meters gained by the Swarm. Arkee, he gets that 136 meters from 3 runs. That will be from his try. But someone I thought would have been more of an impact. was Sagani. Even though he kicked majority of the game, which I don't think you want he was playing lock or second
Yeah,
row.
he was playing lock. And it's a weird for a lock to kick that much. I'm not too sure what's going on, whether that's part of the game plan or whether that was just circumstances. Perhaps the Ravens were putting a lot of pressure onto the two halves, and here was just the default.
Yeah, it's a strange incident. Yeah, it's good if you have a halfback playing in that role because you do have a genuine fifth tackle option if a lock needs to be in that position. But something they can go back in the drawing board and focus on in training next week.
Absolutely, as we look to play, and wow, the meters are a little bit different for the Ravens. Felix Stoder with 212 meters. That's phenomenal there from a second rower. And he just kept on going. 6 line breaks. That is intense stuff there from him.
I'd also like to point out that Rex Buckingham, while he was playing hooker, he made 19 tackles with only 1 missed. But then we see Michael McLucky, 19 tackles with 0 misses.
Absolutely. He's playing in the lock position tonight, and he got a try assist and a try as well. He's just had a fantastic night for him. So we look at some of the other players. I think Stix McGee, 165 meters run, 4 line breaks, and apparently 0 tackle breaks, which for some reason, I find that very hard to believe with how he was just bumping off people. I think maybe if you pulverize your enemy and turn them into dust, maybe it doesn't count as a tackle break. Dokulic, 158 meters. He had another good game, try assist, and 2 tries to his name. It was just...
Just on your comment with McGee, I believe that's called a felony.
I think it may be. I think the Geneva Convention may have some clauses against that. And there we go. A fantastic game from the Ravens. Sees them to continue their win streak and make it 2. The Swarm now on a 2-loss streak. They'll be looking to turn it around soon. And they'll be disappointed with that match. I've been your SRL Mines Commissioner, Will Kay, joined in the commentary box by Dustin Richards. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you tonight, and thank you for joining us.
And good to be back in the mines, Kay. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us. And we'll see you very shortly for the second game of the round.